You're very welcome to the Friends and Family Show on ChannelOne TV, coming to you live from our studios here on number 5 Ola Hansen Lane in Tesano. You know, on this show, we get so real. We talk about all the things that probably you are not talking about. We get into all the conversations that I know that you will be interested in. So tonight we're talking about the journey to graduation. You know, you go to school for 4 years. In the beginning, you're all hyper and excited because you're a newbie. So you're looking out for your faculties, you're finding new friends, excited about the course you're about to read. And then in the middle, sometimes there's a dip. And then there are some kind of struggles here and there. But then that journey all through to graduation is the best moment of your life sometimes. So we're talking about this tonight. And I want for you to be a part of it. So surely, I know that you have that uni, experience and adventure and all of that. I'd want to hear everything. I have 2 gentlemen who are going to join me in the studio tonight, and then we'll get into this conversation. But I'd want for you to be a part of the show. So send me a message via WhatsApp on the number 020-444-7033. That is 020-444-7033. Now, I'd want for you to probably call a friend back in uni. You definitely would have 2 or 3 friends that you're still hanging out with. For them to watch as well. Then bring back all the memories down all the way to graduation. My name is Noyo Kwote. You can get personal with me on Instagram at na_oyo_Kwote. And when you find me, don't forget to hit the like and the follow button. You're still on the Friends and Family Show. I'll take a breather. When I'm back, we're on that journey to graduation. All right, welcome back to the Friends and Family Show. And this evening, we are on a journey to graduation. I need to bring you back down memory lane from when you were in uni first year and then down to the 4th year. And then the final day, when everybody, gets their graduation, what's that called? The graduation cap, right? And then the gown that you wear as well, and the sash, right? So you get excited and all of that, forgetting that we've been through so much in 4 years. We'll get into the assignments and the IA bits. Or is it AI or IA bits? Yeah. So we get into that as well. But we're talking about that graduation journey, okay, or journey down to graduation. In my studio here, I have Tajuddin Abdullahi, who is not new to our screens, the host of I don't know how you cry friends.
Vox Pop
Vox Pop I was trying to get the other one with the don't run. So that's Tajuddin, who is an on-screen person. All right, you're welcome, Taj. Okay, and again, we have Jude Dele, who graduated from the University of Ghana, Legon. And then Tajuddin will be in Takoradi Technical University, right? You're welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we university. So how did you feel? Let's start off with how did you feel when you got your letter or admission letter, right?
Yeah. Yes,
or
yes.
let's say for UG, we get the list and then you're accepted and all of that. They send you a mail or they send you
away, it's the admission letter.
It's admission letter. How did you feel when you received that letter? And then, before I get to how you felt, was it actually the uni you had wanted to go to?
Of course, for me, it's always been uni from day one.
No, I'm trying to say, was it Legon?
Yes, it was Legon.
Oh, so from day one.
Top one.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Tajuddin?
No.
Yes. So that's where the wahala started for me.
Maybe he wanted uni.
So you wanted to go to Legon?
I mean, everyone wants to go to
Not everyone, please. Who says everybody wants us to go to Legon? You think that it's Legon and the rest there?
Not Legon per se, but just university,
Right. But I'm asking if everybody wants to go to University of Ghana.
That's debatable, but yeah.
That's a dream
that's a what?
That's a dream of over 90% of students.
Well, I'll say so.
Yeah.
Well, we need to conduct the research to ascertain that.
There is no research.
Okay, nice. So now let's move to when the admission letter came through.
Yeah.
And probably your mom or your dad received it on your behalf, or probably you did.
Yeah.
Did you receive it yourself, or your parents or guardian received it?
It came through my guardian.
Okay.
But then, way before I knew it already.
You knew you cut the
because
thing.
it is such that you can always check with the same name.
Okay.
I mean, with regards to the status of your application.
Right.
If you're admitted, you see it. So even before it comes,
You know
I'm
that
too curious to check my
Right.
surname and then.
Okay,
it
so
was
the
in-
first day. Now you
Yes,
know
yes.
you're going to University
Yes,
of Ghana,
yes.
Legon. Now, how did you feel?
For me, it was a dream of ages that had come true. Legon has always been my number one, just like several other students. So when I got admitted, I think I had traveled. I'm actually from the north.
Okay.
So I had traveled down south to sort of, hustle in preparation for school. So when I got it, the first thing was I was so excited that I just had to leave back the following day. And though, you see, you have faith that you are picking admission, but there's no money home. But you see, you don't care. You haven't seen money in your parents' account,
Right.
but you have faith that when the admission comes. So when the admission comes to, the excitement was there. And after the excitement, you are hit with a relative that, hey, nigga, when you were picking the form, did you consult us? Yeah, so that was the next step. And then, I fought you.
Okay. Saturday?
Well, so I got the admission letter a week after I'd applied, but I went for it in person. And so I was called. In fact, it was through my auntie's husband. So he led me throughout the process and all of that. And so after we applied, because I used to live with them, and so he had a call a week after that I should come to the school. It was very important. They needed me in the school. So I had to take a car all the way from Benzo Oil Palm Plantation, it's called Bob, in the Western region. So I took a car to Takrady. I went to Takrady Technical University, and then I was told to go to the registrar's office. So I got there, and I mentioned my name, that my name is Tajuddin. I'm here to take a letter. And then they handed me the letter. I opened it, was admission. I'm like, okay, you know what, this is what I've been waiting for.
Knowing you. Jam.
Yeah, I was.
Split? Did you do
Oh my
across?
goodness! I couldn't hold it. I screamed actually.
Okay.
I screamed because I'd sat home for a while. So it was like a dream come true because I just wanted to get to the university. Just wanted to go to school because I didn't want to.
Because at some point, we have our mates going
You
to
know,
school. You're
yeah,
also
they're
asking you like, what's up? And you're
you
like,
don't want
yes,
to be
yes,
asked
yes.
that.
you did how?
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't want
Charlie-
to be asked.
And
Okay.
then-
So now let's go past the excitement of going to uni. Now this is first year. This is you're on campus. Everything is started.
Yeah,
the
that's
whole euphoria actually dies off at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it goes
along the
away.
line, along the line,
Now there's a reality and then
Dreams, yeah.
hardships.
That's
Okay,
true.
so let's go through some of the hardships that you went through during uni. So we can start on whatever year. Did
Alright.
they actually begin exactly in the first year?
Yeah.
Was the first year like a roller coaster, or it started in the second year? Let's vibe.
Okay, for me, it wasn't so smooth even from day one. To have hit the road from somewhere in Upper West region for like 12 hours, then you arrive on campus, and as at 12 a.m. midnight, you got there, you've got your admission, you've come to campus, all right, but the reality hates you, no place to lay your head.
Okay.
For me, the accommodation crisis was my hell. It was just some manager, but I couldn't manage it. So I arrived on campus having no way to lay my head. And the funny thing was that back in high school, you are doing literature, and then you read about, there's this book, Faceless, we read in literature. You've read about things, and then Kaye girls are sleep on the street, and then hanging on pillars in Accra, and then you are wondering. But for someone who is a member, or the only school in Ghana, you arrive on campus, and then you don't also have a place to sleep, just like those
Did
guys.
you say the only school in Ghana?
Okay, point of correction. Okay.
Did you say the only school in Ghana? Yeah, did you say the only school in Ghana?
You see what I was saying?
Forgive me, but then, it's not, sometimes we don't just know how to classify ourselves, but that is how it is. The top schools in Ghana, then you arrive and you don't have a place to sleep. That was sarcastic to me. So I had to find someone to pitch. I don't know if you had that pitching thing on your campus.
Oh, yeah,
yeah, so I began with pitching, no
But
accommodation.
didn't you have anywhere on your form that, I know Legon, you're assigned to.
Yes.
Yeah. So you didn't
You
have,
know-
because you came late, you couldn't
No,
have
no.
gone through admin to allocate you to
The
where
selection process of the whole, it's so competitive.
Okay, at what time were you in uni? Because I know you did the in, out, out, out. At some point it was in, out, out,
Yes,
in.
so what you do is that after you get the admission, you make payment.
Right.
All right. After you make payment, you are eligible to register for a hall. And trust me, over 10,000 students, and then all of a sudden you have just like 20 beds on the portal. So it's very competitive.
Okay.
The beds are no more. So I couldn't get, accommodation on campus. I had tried to register, but like before I even logged in,
It was full.
It was full. So that was it. So the rest is up to you. You have to find a place to pitch, rent off campus. So I began with pitching on campus.
Okay.
I pitched a
You
friend.
had a friend.
Yes, I had a friend. He actually inspired me to even pick the form to Legon.
Right.
He was my senior back in high
So
school.
like now your leg did something top. Like if
Yeah.
this one doesn't
If
work.
that doesn't work,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So he was the one he was my lifesaver at the time. So he came out and then took me to his room, and we deceived the porters that look, I was going to spend a night with my friend.
Okay.
That was how I ended up spending the whole semester in that guy's room.
So they didn't figure it out?
We have a way around it.
You have a way around.
Yes, you go.
That's like criminal activity. You have a way around.
Oh, of course. It wasn't.
So
it
every
wasn't,
time they ask you, you have something
it
to say.
wasn't easy, you know. That's the stress most students go through on campus. It's not easy. It's so terrible. There are times you can't cross the entrance of the hall. You go out. There are certain times you can't come in because you don't have proof of residence.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to sneak in and out. Early morning you have to be out. Late evenings you can't enter.
So you come in before the time.
Yes, you come in before the
Right.
time.
Okay, Tajudeen.
Yep.
Any tough moments?
Yes, my story is not that different from what he shared. Just that I got a place to sleep eventually. After all the
Eventually,
struggles.
as in?
Yeah. So, you know, when you pay your fees, you are assigned a hall, like we all know. And so I was assigned to Enzima Mensa Hall, which is like the male hall on campus and like the best hall on campus.
Right.
Yeah, that's a fact.
All of you are just going to be
I mean,
go
anyone
down
who has
this
been to
lane.
TT knows that Enzima Mensa Hall is the best hall. I mean, that's not up for debate. So I got to campus at 8 a.m. in the morning, and then I got to the hall with my bags, and I went alone, by the way. So after getting the admission, I went alone. So unlike other people who had their parents or family members, you know, escorting them and
Coming
bringing them,
them,
I went alone. So that's where everything started.
You have to figure it
So
out.
now I had to figure everything out by myself as to where I'm going to sleep and all of that. So I got there 8 a.m. on campus. I went to the hall warden. I introduced myself, but they had the list of people who had been assigned to the hall. So I checked my name was there. And they were like, Charlie, protocol. I came early, 8 o'clock, and I've still not been assigned a hall as late as 2 p.m. I'm still not assigned a hall. I'm like, what's going on? See, and I had to speak to the hall warden. I told her, like, look, my name is Tajudeen. I'm coming all the way from Damangu. Please, if you don't assign me a place to sleep, I don't know where I'm going to. And I think that found favor in the eyes of the woman, and then eventually she had to speak to one of the leaders, and then I was assigned to a room eventually, which is room 38A.
You still remember?
Oh yes,
That's nice.
we did things. Room
38.
Yeah, man.
I still remember my room too.
So you still remember your room?
Yeah,
What was it?
G25. G25.
Well, for me, you know, I can't actually say about what you were saying
Yeah.
because I never wanted to be in a hostel. I don't know why, but I have a problem with, you know, sleeping with the lights on. And I have a problem with any of my roommates deciding that they keep the lights on.
Really?
And then I won't be able to sleep. I don't see why I'm going to go and stress myself. I pay and go and stress myself. You get what I'm saying? So I never, you know, had the whole
that
idea of people going
experience,
to uni and getting into, you know, hostels and all of
No,
that.
but I think it's-
Mine was, I just drive myself
I think
to
it's
school.
the best experience every student.
Now
should have.
I know everybody is saying
Yes,
that, like, you know, you have to stay. But I felt like, okay, I've done boarding school.
Yeah.
It's almost the same. Boarding
I
school
know.
with all the lights out and everything quiet was one of the piss offs for me.
Really?
Entire time I was in school. So I know I'd signed myself from secondary school. I'm never going to do that. People are going to stay on campus thing. So that's why I can't really say.
So,
I'm
no,
not saying
No,
anything.
but I think
It means that you've missed out on all
A
the-
lot.
no,
Yes,
you've
what
missed out on a
again?
lot.
What is this that you can show me?
there's
come on.
there's a lot we can
Okay,
show.
like
There's a
what?
lot.
You can use Jama.
Come on, please. If I was to see Jama,
I
like,
mean,
is this
there are
thing that
even-
I want to
can
go
you
and
see
see
there are
Jama?
even group discussions that go within the house.
Yes, exactly.
Well, but then there's
Yeah.
no group discussions that I wouldn't miss.
But it's
you know, but
Yeah.
my own thing is after lectures, I don't want to be there.
really.
Yes. So I can't, you know, relate to, you know, finding someone. Mine was I drive to school, I drive back, or I get public transport, something to school and then
Yeah,
come
yeah,
back.
that's true.
No wala. because when it's time for me to sleep, the lights must go off.
Wow.
It's not now that I want to sleep that people are, say, oh no, I want to learn. Or my boyfriend has come to visit me. So
they're all part of it.
You fight.
You fight.
So,
and that is the fight that is necessary.
No, so then I didn't want to go through
Yeah.
all of that struggle. So I actually like moved from home to school.
Right.
So one of these days, I think I have to find people who are like me, so that we'll come
That's
and discuss how moving from home to school also felt. You know? Yeah. So now let's talk about this. Was there any point in school that you realized that no, I don't think I'm going to graduate? Probably you have failed some courses, you have to rewrite, you weren't able to sit some, papers, exams, or definitely well that's either you have to defer or something. Was there any point in your life during school that you felt that I don't think I'm going to graduate?
Okay, so I think I didn't get to that point, or I didn't think of something like that. But what I said to myself when I gained admission was that I was never going to get a reset, first of all.
Okay.
I mean, again, given where I'm coming from, Damango, Savannah region.
Sharp.
It's far. We are far from home.
How many hours?
Charlie, 13 hours. In fact, 13 hours. We are far from home. So you can't disappoint, okay?
Right.
And so I had purposed in my mind that I was not going to get a reset. And thankfully it happened. But then again, one of the challenges I went through while in school was the payment of my fees. I was taking care of my aunt's husband. He took care of me.
Okay.
And so he paid my fees, my admission fees for the first semester. And then second semester, my cousin also was getting to the university. So it was quite, chaotic a bit. So financially, so he was very tight financially. So I had to sacrifice, certain things in terms of like my provisions and all of those things, right? And so when we were done with level 100 and we're moving to 200, I usually paid my fees when it was like a week to exam.
Okay, so that's like all through the semester.
Like I'll be, but even before I register, I'd have to now go and then negotiate, with the school authorities.
Stuff.
Thankfully when I went to level 100, so I mean this was shit. You understand me? So
you made some friends.
I involved myself in student leadership because I've always wanted to to be part of student leadership and a voice to champion student interests, like be like the one who would move the crowd and lead the people to pursue the cause of the student agenda. So thankfully I was made the SRC deputy editor for the 2016-2017 SRC executive. So I was made their editor. And so that kind of gave me like a leeway when it came to the payment of my fees and all of that. Okay. So usually the SRC president will stand in for me together with the dean of students. And again, our whole warden, because of how I was well behaved and the fact that I was involved.
Did you say well behaved?
Oh, of course. I mean that I'll be fresh. So therefore, study the environment and things. So he would have to, talk to the dean of students so that, they'll allow me to register and all of that. And then again, to show commitment, I had to make some part payments.
Right.
So that I'll register.
So did you guys ever have that moment to examination where the list of people who are registered to write the exam the list is on the board? So if your name is not on it, that means that you haven't paid either your school fees or something. You haven't paid something, so your name is on it. So you go on the board and you realize that your name is not there. How do you feel?
Then you chop hot.
Yeah.
Charlie.
Yeah, we also had that. So people are always rushing to go and see if their names are there. Either your late registration or you haven't paid for something. Yes. Okay. So now I'd want you to tell me if you have any vivid memories of those late nights, late night studies. Everybody they used to call it something. Every school has got a name for it.
Well.
The late night studies, what's it called? Like burning something. Call it something.
Burning the night. That's for burning the
No,
night.
that's one is a normal, but they used to
Yeah.
call it. People call it something.
Oh, we just go class. We just go study. Yeah. Like.
Oh, I know 2 names. Like it's just not coming to mind. But anyway, so share those memories. Like late nights. You have to study at night and go and write the thing the next morning.
Yes. I don't know whether I should go or I should take you back a little with regards to.
No, Wala. Let's do it.
Yeah, so let me take you back to with regards to whether they were failing grades or like.
Right.
Yes. So for me, like I said, after I got the admission, and fees was something that was very difficult to come with, and then, but family they will have a way around it.
Yeah.
You have to call relatives, this and that. And I was actually first generation graduate student in my family, so like it called for a lot of effort, and they went about it. options came up, oh, let's sell this car, let's sell off this property and all that. And I got in. First year, admission fees was paid by my family. And then my roommate, who had taken me to his room, introduced me to, there's this office in University of Ghana, Students Financial Aid Office. So my friend, Samson, introduced me to the Students Financial Aid Office. It's sort of like scholarship. Good evening to Samson, wherever he is. So he introduced me to that office, and then I applied for, scholarship. Fortunately, I got a scholarship. So after my first year, where my family paid for me, the rest of the 3 years, the office of the Students Financial Aid Office catered for that. So
that's a good move.
Yeah, that was a good move. And I think it's still on. It's a good thing they're doing, helping needy students, brilliant and needy students. So that was that on the other side. And then, moving on, I didn't have any decision to defer whatsoever. But I nearly didn't graduate. And actually, I didn't even graduate. Actually, I didn't graduate with my mates. They had to move. And I graduated later.
Did you defer?
I didn't defer.
Did you?
We have this required courses. You have required courses.
It's just like secondary school. They're called an elective.
Yeah, called an elective.
Right. So that's it's called major.
Yeah, major.
Right.
Yeah, so you can't do without certain courses, or you have to hit a certain required credits, number of credits.
Score,
Credit score. And you wouldn't believe it that you've gone evening, you've gone to study with your mates. It's evening, and then you have a paper the following day. You've gone to study group studies with your mates. You go back to your hostel somewhere in Rolling Circle, because I was off campus at the point. I was staying at Rolling Circle. You move back to your hostel, slept, woke up by 5 a.m. It's a 7:30 paper. You woke up by 5 a.m. preparing for a 7:30 paper. Then all of a sudden, your mind is reprogrammed, and then you're like, the paper is 9:30. Yeah.
How's that? Only timetable.
I did. I'd prepared with my mates on campus.
So why didn't they go? They didn't call. Nobody called you.
Nobody called me to.
Oh, bad.
Because I wasn't. We were very few for that course. Very few, like 9 or so for that course, and the rest were on campus. I was the only one who was off campus.
Off campus, right.
So they were so busy that.
They forgot about you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. So I had gone to fetch water to bath, and it occurred to me, nigga, the paper was 7:30, and I'm like, I called the course rep. He said, "Oh, we've just closed." That was final semester, final year.
So I have to do carry forward.
I had to do carry forward. I rushed to the English department.
Final semester, you say?
Yeah, final semester.
You
won't graduate. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's say, but I went ahead, rushed to the English department. Of course, Legon, you can't cut corners with Legon. Nothing could be done about it. Then I had to wait for the next year.
So you didn't graduate
I didn't graduate with my mate. So I just went ahead to do my national service while waiting.
So when it was time to write the paper?
Yeah, then I went and wrote it, and I got it this time around.
I mean,
so and throughout that period, it's like you are not proud of yourself because
how can you be proud?
Yeah.
But how can you go and study at night?
Yeah,
and then you say the time is different. So feel for me, because this cannot be a reason why you have to, not graduate. They follow you. Hey!
But I'm strong.
Imagine this happening to me.
Now come to think about it. It didn't end there, but then God is good.
It's all the time.
Now, even after I rewrote, all right, and then I now had, my name was on the list for graduation last year. And you wouldn't believe, I graduated, all right. I went for everything, and then at the end of it, you have to go and pick your certificate at the collection point. I went to the pick-up collection point. Throughout an entire week, I couldn't get my set.
Your house people is not mock anymore. It's high heel.
So
you are wearing pencil here.
Yes.
Because
so I had initially thought that okay, maybe missing the exam was a bit of my fault. But why is also the deal in my set
does
not
it
being
mean that
found?
they probably made a mistake and added you to the previous batch?
No. It was actually with them. It was with them. They had indicated, okay, they've printed the cert, but it's not just at the collection point. They can't find it. Wow. And for me, I had a job waiting for me already. And I just needed to submit that certificate that very week after graduation for a job. And so They said the entire week they couldn't get it. Until I sort of, that's why I said God is good.
All the time.
There was someone, shout outs to Mr. Freddie Yoko. He supported me, like trying to find a document for me. He assigned someone to search the document for me, like, you've come to work, and your work is just to find me my certificate. The lady searched throughout the week, she couldn't get it.
Yeah.
So Frank told me that.
We'll come and find that certificate. Let's
Yeah,
go.
and actually we found it. We found it
Oh,
later.
they finally found it.
Yes.
But we're still going to go and break and see if truly the certificate was his. When we come back from the break, you're still on the Friends and Family Show. We're talking about, you know, our journey through to graduation. Please stay tuned today. All right, welcome back. You're still on the Friends and Family Show, coming to you live on ChannelOne TV, and we're still live from our studios here at number 5 Ola Hanson Lane in Tessano. My name is Noyo Korte, and I still need you to be a part of the show. So send me a message via WhatsApp on the number 020-444-7033. I bet that you can see the number on the screen. So please do send me a message. Share with me all the experiences, the hard times, the good times, but mostly the troubling times towards graduation. Were you able to graduate on time? Were you able to graduate with your badge? Did you have to do 2 or 3 more years later? Or did you have to like a resit? You know, all of these things, you just have to go down memory lane and remember. Sometimes these experiences, they are quite sad, but sometimes you sit and you giggle like, you know, I went through all of that. It makes me tough. Right. So we're going to go back to a conversation, but I'm going to ask Sajidi. Okay, it's going to be a general question. Was there any person on campus, probably friends, that actually like held your hand and walked you through uni? If that person or those people were not on campus, you can bet that she wouldn't have gone through school.
Yes.
You had friends?
Oh, yes. So I had this friend called, shouts to you, Joseph.
Like one goes up for Joseph.
Joseph, Charlie, and then Juliet.
Hey, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, they were in my class.
Okay.
And Joseph, for instance, oh my God, that guy was just an angel sent from God. Like, listen, sent by God. He was just great. Joseph's mother lives in the US. So he be DB.
Gosh.
He be da.
Gosh.
He be in pet way, in the live hostel way, air conditioned days.
Really?
I am man.
So you go and patch there because of the air conditioning.
But he struggled academically.
Okay.
Right? And I'm not saying I'm too intelligent or I was too intelligent, but at least it wasn't something I faced, you know, challenges in terms of like when it comes to my assignments and all of that. So I used to like help him, you know, drag him along with me when it came to studies and all of that. He had money. I didn't have money. In fact, when you visit my hall,
there's nothing inside.
I was a supplier of Gary and tapioca. You know,
wow.
do you know tapioca?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's what now the
exactly
for the boba
so
tea.
when I visit Damango and I'm going back to school, I take like 3 bowls of Gary.
Hey.
Yeah, 2 bowls of tapioca.
Hey.
Yes.
To hold you are doing some business.
Yes, and Chito. Right. So when I get to campus, so my room is room 38A and there's room 38B. So all the guys in room 38A were 4 guys, and in 38B 4 guys. So that's 8 people in one like.
So you share the Gary?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was a supplier. So if you needed Gary for your gobe, I was there for you. Right?
Are you selling it?
Yeah. If you need, I wasn't selling it. It was just for
for
free.
free.
Yeah, yes, and tapioca and all of that. I would give
You
you.
get anything in return?
But I mean, sometimes you know, as students, you use your stuff.
Boys,
like,
I understand.
Boys, yeah. My guy gets something.
Yeah.
I go feel where his sneakers have go.
Hey, laboro.
Yes.
Class. Oh yeah, but, you have only one shoe.
Laboro.
And then once.
So maintain one shoe. Why go to take somebody else's shoe?
You know,
Yeah.
Charlie, you don't feel wear the thing like that all the time. You know. So I'll just feel call Charlie. I mean, you know, where they should go class today. Charlie, make a door now. I go wear that.
Same size?
Is it?
Same size.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't go spoil up. Hey, you know my own. If I spoil up, why I get money go? I mean, safe. The money I get where they take me, say they can take it, you know, pay for handout and things safe.
Yeah.
You know the catch.
You know the
where as soon as they go sport, I'm going to like, you know, challenge someone for compose myself. You know, but Joseph would come through for me. So when we are done with class, he would go and buy me food and we'll all eat together. And I knew how to cook. I mean, I knew how to cook at that, you know. Yeah. I got good culinary skills. I'm not even joking. So yeah, so I'll go to his hostel and then we'll buy rice, go buy, you know, tomato. I'll do some nice and guamo, you know, with sardine and egg on the side. But he'll buy everything and I'll just do the cooking and we'll eat and all that. And in fact, there were times that I couldn't pay for some handouts.
You come.
Yeah, Joseph would pay for his and pay for mine. And Juliet too, she barely sat in class, even though because she used to travel a lot, and she had a business, so she was not really paying attention to the school. But once in a while, she'll come to class and all of that. There are certain assignments that she would say, "Oh, Abdullah, can you do this for me?" And then I do the assignment for her and then do for myself. But they really, really helped me a lot. And of course, I also did made some friends as well. Kobe.
Okay, before we read some messages, I'm going to ask you if you had any, because I've heard that you've mentioned 2 or 3 people already.
Yes. For me, I had like those that were ahead of me, and then my mates. Okay, so those that were ahead of me, like the likes of Samson, who is able to find you a place to sleep, and then when you're hungry, he sorts you. Of course, for him too, it wasn't that like the big kind of, but you know, he was matured in the system, so he was able to help me through that. So Samson was someone that held my hands through, from giving me space to sleep to finding me something to eat, and showing me the school's culture. I mean, when I entered Legon first, he had to be the one to take me around. Before we began class, he was taking me to even his French classes, all right. Then I got used to the system. And then apart from him, I also had this brother. He's not a pastor, Pastor Collins Harry Chamba, but back on campus, Brother Harry. And then after school, he's now a pastor, he's running a ministry. And he was one of the guys that really held my hands, opened my eyes to a lot of things. That's on the people who were ahead of me. But for mates, I had Timothy and then Albert. Recently, I was having a conversation with someone, and then they said, look, Albert is like ChatGPT. You know this ChatGPT that has come? The guy is damn smart. And if you are stranded, and his principle was simple. If he's in a group, all of you must pass. He's not those guys that sort of discriminate. So once you are in his group, he will do the work. He wouldn't take your name out because you didn't partake. So like, it was someone we relied on the toughest courses. Okay, so he's someone that really helped my transcript in a way. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Albert.
Shout out to who?
Albert.
Yeah. And I've got a couple of messages. I'll take them real quick. And this one here says, it was my first day at university studying for a BSc in agribusiness. I was in my first year taking 10 courses. There were challenges here and there, and I navigated through them for 4 years. On graduation day, I couldn't sleep. It was 5 a.m. That's actually going to take me to my next question. It was 5 a.m., and the time from then until the ceremony was at 9 a.m., and it felt like an eternity. Pure nostalgia. This is Godwin Evangelical Presbyterian University. Well, he added, laugh out loud. I didn't really have anyone to guide me through my first year in uni, so I struggled with my grades and accommodation. It really affected my final grade points, but I guess it's all good. This is Kelly and Bolga. I'm sorry about that. And Jude is my son, who breaks all odds to graduate in UG. That's University of Ghana.
Yes,
he is the last one of 7 who was able to excel to that level. The family is proud of you. And this is by Sixes. Okay, now me, I had quite a number of friends. You know, I'm that person that I make a lot of friends, but then I know a lot of people, but I have like 2 or 3 people who are my friends. So shout outs to Rachel Akosia Kwashi. She was my girl. And this, between the 2 of us, she's the one who is always worrying. I'm the one who's odeshi, you know. She's the one who's always saying, hey, I don't know how we can get through this course. The lecture is some way. But I'm like, you know, this paper, we go right up. We won't feel it. So it's either she's tagging along. B plus B. A, she's A. You know, like we're doing like that. I'll tag you along. And I would say that she made me like school, you know, because you have somebody who's also has the same interest as you. I don't want to fail. You know, I'm here, I'm doing it one time and I'm going out.
That's true.
So she would call in the morning, says, hey, now we have this, so how can you, why are you this stressed? We go right time. You get? So she's like, hey, you learn this one. Let me too learn this one. You know, she's always, I don't know if you say the scaredy cat. She's always the one that's like, you know, I don't want to get into trouble. So if the teacher say we should do like, let's do, I say, no, there are so many shortcuts to heaven, baby.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she wants to go word for word. If the teacher says this, she wants to do that. Shout out to Akosia. Like, you know, she held me down. Well, she was actually the very first person I met in uni. And she became my friend all through. You know, I met her at the entrance, and she looked a bit lost. So I just walked up to her. No, she walked up to me instead. And then she said hello, and I said hello. She said, my name is Rachel. I said, my name is Now. That was it. And then we were together for 4 years. You know, you find us sitting together till I think final year, they had to do the split thing. You know, you do either PR or you do journalism. So yeah, and then we had to split a little. And then they did the same PR, but then you have ABC. So when the shuffle came, I went to A and she went to C. But it never stopped us from ganging.
Wow.
You know, so
that's incredible.
It never stopped us from ganging. And our courses were swapped a little bit, although we're doing the same thing. So on days that probably I am doing major PR, she's doing something else. And then it got to a time that when we had to write exams, now they swap it. And she's writing a different paper, but we still Vim day.
Wow.
We graduated the same day.
Wow.
Sitting right next to each other. It was lovely. We took our pictures together. Our parents came to sit together. Yeah, so school was nice. So this is what's going to take me to my next question.
Right.
Graduation day. How did you feel? No, first off, the feeling of going to the board and finding your name right there.
Huh.
Even before finding your name on the board, you know, you have to calculate your GPA. And you calculate, you're like, I'm going to first class. Then you calculate that, they said, no, when they calculate, they'll divide it by some number.
Oh my God.
Then you drop to Chale upper. Then they still calculate, then you divide the something. They say, no, this one, yeah. Hey, lower. Some people graduate, they calculated that, then they go to third class and say, it's a school over there.
So I remember, I mean, let me tell you a story. I remember when I never did French growing up. So from, I mean, primary to...
Right, so uni French was scoring?
French, so yes. So we had to do functional French. Charlie, I never do. So that
say,
bro,
say, conjugate.
Like, Jarissa, like, je revu,
conjugate the verb, I am.
Charlie, who tells me that?
Je suis.
Oh, my lecture, entre. I'm like, yo, bro. So I remember we wrote the exam, but you see, think about me is, even though I don't know anything, I show interest, and it's that crazy because I really want to learn something. At least I should be able to write something, you know. So I mean, so you see me answering questions in class, even if I don't know, I'll say something else. We all laugh about it and all of that. But that's the way I used to learn, you know, because
you will be corrected.
Exactly. Yeah. So I remember we wrote functional French exam. Charlie, the thing don't go well. But of course, like I told you, my plan is never to get a receipt. Okay, so it didn't go well. And I had to find the lecturer. I went to his office. I was like, "Sir, listen, I beg you." The thing about it, I know I will fail, but I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail. Then again, I was going to run for presidency. You know, the Ghana National Union of Technical Students. And once you get a receipt, one of the constitutional, instruments is that you
rules you out
automatically out of the race. Yeah. So I needed to make sure that my grade point, first of all, was good, and I made sure that I didn't have a receipt. So I went to his office. I was like, I'm not in any way attempting to say that show me a favor, but then I know the effort I put in, right? I'm not going to fail, but please, I don't have to fail.
Some of us tried this thing. From C, we ended up at D.
The thing,
so try.
And even those who knew French, had done French, and were now offering the course, Charlie, they don't see top.
Yeah.
Now we don't do something before for our life inside. Then be like, Charlie, we just enter city that too, bro. Like, but thankfully, I passed it.
Right.
Okay, and then it shut up my GPA a bit.
Okay.
Now graduation day. So when I checked the list and my name was inside, it broke me down, you know.
Why?
Yeah, because my dad. Okay, so my dad had passed in 2018 while I was in the uni.
Okay.
And even though my aunt's husband took care of me, I wanted to show my dad that
you had gone to
eventually your boy had gone to school and he has
a
degree attached to his name. But unfortunately, so when I took the set, when I took the set, I just held it for a while. I was like, I wish my dad was alive so I could show this to him. But I mean, saw the name there, second class upper division.
Did you shout?
Abdullah Tajuddin. 3.42.
Is it?
I was like, yeah,
this
is the Damango boy, man.
Yeah.
We can't fail, like, bro, we can't disappoint. I was so excited and then sad at the same time. And then on the day of the 9th, the eve to graduation, I went to campus. And because I lived in the hall, and then the hall was very instrumental with my election, I decided not to go and sleep in the hotel or maybe sleep with a friend or a family member or somebody I knew. I wanted to go to the hall. So I went to the hall in the evening. And when I got there, we shared Jama. Oh, yes.
Because it was going to be like the last
goodness.
time in school.
We had a Jama session, like 2 hours back to back. I was just full of praise because looking at where I come from, the struggles I went through, even from SHS. I remember one time ago, I called my dad that I wanted my fees I wanted money to, like my fees, because I had to pay my fees because we had 3 days to write exam. And I had spoken to him the previous day in the evening, and he said he was going to send me the money in the morning. So, you know, we used to use that card. Yeah. That card that you slot in, and then, you know, after you are done using the credit, your mom could use it to do TZ and, you know, all of that. Hey, my mom used to use that. My grandmother, she used to use that card. So that if she's studying TZ, yeah. So something pricked me at dawn when I was going to class. Like, go and call your daddy and ask him about the money. So this was SHS. So I called my dad in the morning. My dad said, I asked him about the fees. He said, no, the fees there. I mean, I've just sent the fees to your mother. They're going to use it for your grandfather's funeral. This was 3 days to exam. So it's something I'd always faced, okay? And so eventually going through all of that. And now you're graduating. And now even with university, paying school fees like a week before exam or the rest of the fees a week before exam, Charlie, was a whole lot. So, and looking back, seeing what God has done, I just said to myself, God did.
God did.
God did.
I dedicate the song to you, my brother.
God did.
It's okay. I didn't say it. Right. So like the the euphoria is nostalgic, and you're feeling that like I have done a lot of work, all the late nights.
That's right.
And all of that. Yeah. But sometimes you still feel a little bit like when you're in term now, remember saying you get. Well,
I think that was my part.
Yeah, but hurry up, Joe.
Charlie, why you don't leg this again?
That's your leg. Charlie. You just want to be done with it.
Yeah, so at a point, I just felt that, come on, let's just do.
Yeah.
Yes, let me go. Because I know, right? So for me, graduating was like the happiest day or moment in my life. Because I mean, my friends thought like I rushed to go to uni because I had a friend back in high school. While I was picking the form, I encouraged this guy pick the form, and so I needed to have a close party who has also picked the form so that we're gonna console ourselves, But this guy was not ready, and he was like, "Oh, let's make it next year." But you see, my rush was not because I was just rushing to enter uni, but then I wanted to give the dream of my mom a reality. I wanted to make it flesh, like. All my siblings sort of disappointed her. So I was the last hope. And then this was my thing. So I just wanted, and you don't know how long, I wasn't hoping she was going to die, but like, I just wanted to. You just
can't tell.
Yeah, I just can't tell. So I just picked the form. Friends were like, and the guy who was saying next year, and I was like, Clement, I'm getting old. I was 18 by then. I was like, I'm getting old. And he's 3 years older than me. And I'm telling him that I'm getting old to enter uni. So it will take a genuine friend to take this kind of response. So I just ignored him. If I'm not ready, I'm going for it because I have my mom to make proud. I want my mom to see that at least on board Kai.
Right.
Yes. So that was the mindset with which I just went straight to uni, awaiting form. And then going through the whole troubles of school fees, accommodation, patching and whatnot. Then to the very last minute of graduating, and then some mysterious things happen. And things don't play out as you want. So I didn't know how I was going to tell my mom that I'm not graduating. And she had known me all her life that due to dear. Like, till now, she brags of me like she knows I'm that brilla.
Oh, I think so. That message was for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a message for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard you read it, but I didn't really get.
Who is Sixtus?
Sixtus. Oh, okay, Sixtus, damn.
Who's that?
Yeah, that's my uncle.
So I think that message for you. So it says, so Jude is my son.
Oh, okay.
And who broke all odds to graduate to University of Ghana. He's the last born of 7 who is able to excel to that level. The family's proud of you.
Good evening, Sixtus. Thank you so much. This young man, he's a nurse at 31st, is it 21st? 21st clinic, right? There's this clinic.
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay. So he's a nurse, and then this guy, while I was on campus.
Okay, so it's 21st.
Yes, 21st. And then he surprised me with some evening banquet and soup.
For
God bless
graduation.
you, Sixtus.
For graduation.
No. That was during my third year or second year. Well, you know, hunger was a trade. Like,
Wow.
yeah. Hunger
We have
was.
been through it.
Charlie.
Yeah, I've been through
we have
it.
seen
So
it.
this guy really, he came
At
to.
that Banku, you know,
Yes.
you know,
Isn't that why you keep for 2 weeks?
I remember my aunt used to like prepare banku,
And then
right?
you stock it for a while.
Oh my goodness! Sometimes you can pick the banku, you see the banku, what a bustle.
Baba room.
You may eat it. Who eat it and eat it? You know it. You know eat it.
Anyway, I've got a few messages. Let me check them out real quick. And hello now. Hi there. That feeling, it was a dream come true for me to go to Legon. Admission was a dream come true. I had great study mates who are like sisters till date. My group members got me photocopied notes to read at home when pregnancy set in at level 400. English department at Legon and its struggle. God saw me through with a supportive husband. I got 2 certificates, my daughter's birth certificate and my degree. And this is Ronnie and Temana. That's beautiful.
You see the message.
Let's
You
see
know
this
it.
one. Mostly those friends you meet on the first day at uni automatically become your friends till you complete. That's true.
Yeah.
And that shout out to my girl Rachel. Especially the entrance meeting. Yeah. Exactly,
But you're all
entrance.
confused.
Because all of you are confused.
Your first
So
time.
if you crash and say young well, and if you want to maintain that friendship, don't dare be roomies. It will be that is where you start to identify each other's faults. Because if you become roomies now and say, who did you do? Who did you do?
I go sack you one time.
And then, you know, the brouhaha starts, which is true. Now we're talking about graduation day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now this is shoe that you've been given your, or you take the thing
Yes,
the
the
day
gown
before,
with the
right?
sash.
You pay. I think
Yeah.
there's a payment you make, and then you go for a gown.
Yeah.
And then you go for like I think they'll take you through the process
Yeah.
of how you graduate and all that, match and all of that.
Me, they mentioned Abdullah is something. I'm in a hurry, baby.
Oh, damn.
I had received my certificate before they hear my name.
Charlie,
I heard my name like hours later.
Really?
I'm in a hurry.
Charlie,
so you see people I want to
while sitting there, for me, while sitting there, I'm like, Charlie, so like God really do this, saying like, Charlie, is this happening for real? Because Charlie, looking at sitting at home for a while, like
Before going to school?
Charlie, it's some way, you know, your mates are Charlie. You hear that this your mate is done, he's working here. I'm like, oh Charlie.
Charlie, you can't
So
go through
finally,
it
when you
without
take your
That's
certificate, Charlie,
correct, yeah.
the feeling
Okay.
is just
Yes,
it's
for
just
us
great.
to, you would have to make payments online.
Yeah.
And then you pick up the gown. But for the sash, you have to produce that
Yeah,
yourself.
you can.
Oh, you
can
produce
get
the
someone
sash.
to-
Ours, I think
contact
ours
someone to-
comes with the gown.
Make
It's
one.
already
Yes.
on the gown.
It doesn't come with the gown.
pay for it.
Oh,
So
okay,
you
so
have
the
to,
sash that has your name written
Yes.
on it.
Yeah, you have
Right,
to
that's what you're
customize
talking
it
about,
yourself.
right.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about the finals year. Now this is so people who showed up for your graduation and what it meant to you. Shout out to my dad. It really meant a lot to me. I didn't really know that there was going to be a party. That was a surprise as well. And so he came with a whole squad with food and drinks, got people to set up canopies, and it was a party. It was a banger. I loved it.
You're a
It was
DB.
Oh, I'm a DB.
You're
I'm
a
not gonna
DB.
lie.
Full DB. Okay,
Certified.
so nobody showed up for my graduation.
Nobody.
Matter of fact, ever since I started going to school from SHS to university, nobody had ever showed up in my school.
No, that's sad to hear.
So I remember in SHS when we had PTA meetings, I'd have to find a teacher who I was very close to by virtue of the fact that he likes that I'm
becoming
a
like a
serious
father.
student and that I used to help him do certain things, like go to the master's bungalow to help me do certain things. So I'll get him to stand in for me. So I never experienced this thing where like it's PTA meeting and you find
Your father
your colleagues'
comes.
parents coming to visit them and they're coming with like gifts and all of that.
Gifts,
I never had enough of that. So that's from SHS and even till university. So the day I was graduating, I went alone. I took my certificate alone. I went home alone. Yeah.
Well,
All right.
who showed up for you?
Yes, for me, I actually graduated twice.
How did you graduate twice?
Yes, so the first year that I was actually supposed to graduate with my mates, people had that expectation, like
That you're graduating?
Yeah.
So they showed up?
Yeah, no, not that. I had to show that, look, I've graduated, but then it was just a show. But my name wasn't on the list. So, but people are expecting you to post on Facebook, people are expecting you to post your graduation pics and all that. So there was that kind of, and you don't want the questions of why didn't you graduate? So I just showed up with my
Who paid
friends.
my school fees? Come ask me a question.
That's the question.
Yeah,
right?
so who are you trying to impress? Like your friends were going to ask you that you
I just,
year?
I honestly couldn't just let anyone know that I haven't graduated.
So you showed up?
Yes,
for
I showed up.
graduation
I
day.
showed up.
Charlie, you gotta do
That's
this.
wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Charlie, you gotta
Yeah,
do
because
that.
I just had to.
So
and
you borrowed somebody's
it
gown?
wasn't just to impress anyone like per se, but then I wanted to convince myself that look, no matter what I've been
You
through,
wanted to console yourself.
yeah, no matter what I've gone through, Mrs. Mayebi.
YAP.
Yeah, so that was the first one, and the final one was the actual
The actual
graduation.
one.
And the
Well,
actual
you won't get the vibe because they're not your
you
classmates.
bought,
Exactly, I
yeah.
understand.
So I actually
Yeah.
that was where I wanted to go
Yeah,
alone.
yeah.
And then I had told my pastor about it. And then I told you, look, I'm just going to do my thing and take my set. He said no. He sent the delegation. He
The guy had delegation.
So they did bring Dodo. Did they bring drums?
Shout out to Pastor Harry.
Hey.
He's the presiding, pastor of Lovers of God Church. So my family had known that my real school. Only me knew that I didn't complete school. So it was my pastor who sent some people
To come and
to
meet
come
you
and meet me. I was like, this is not necessary. It's like, no, like he asked me in mind and all that. But the previous graduation, I had told this uncle, 6th of mine,
Yeah.
that look, I'm at real school. I was only going to do national
So they
service.
catch you.
Charlie,
Catch you.
they stand on people's stuff. He said,
they
we
catch
don't
you.
come.
Yeah,
Like,
when you're looking
I
for
was with
people.
my shadow. Myself
Let
and
me
my
take
shadow.
my final message. He says, hey, Jude, I'm going to see a year. Is that you?
No.
Okay. So probably then that's your name. I'm also Jude. Okay, so that's your name.
Oh, okay.
And I'm currently in level 100 at UCC reading BSc Agriculture Extension and Community Development. I can really relate with your story. We will get there. Thanks
Sure,
for the
sure,
encouragement.
sure.
And he says, a shout out to ChannelOne TV. They are doing the most. You know, we bring you nothing but the best. Yeah.
All right.
On that note, thank you very much for coming.
Thank
sir.
you very much for
Thank
hosting
you,
me.
But shout out to
Tachi.
the best school.
If we are
University.
going to do this thing,
Technical University in
we'll
Ghana.
fight.
That's a
Takrady Technical
fallacy.
If
That's
we
a
are going to,
fallacy.
yes,
Shout out.
this is fallacy of irrelevant conclusion. Thank you so much, guys. And has been the Friends and Family Show. We've gone down memory lane, journey to graduation. I bet that you've gotten back that nostalgia feeling. And I wish that we could do this over and over again. But if you're in uni, you need to experience all of these things and to the end. And if you're graduating soon, then congratulations to you. I hope that your GP is looking nice. My name is Noyo Kwarti. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, and we'll do this again. My love to you always for tuning in. Have a good night.